Dokkan anniversaries. The hype these anniversaries generate every year is monumental, and with Dokkan being here for almost a decade now, you can guess that there's a lot of history to uncover here. So why not take a look at some interesting facts about Dokkan past anniversaries. Let's get started with the first year anniversary. If you didn't know, they actually lowered the rates of the banners during the first year anniversary on global. A common misconception is that they lowered the rates of the anniversary banners knowing that people would summon no matter what for Gogeta, since he was simply like the best unit in the game by far. But that would have been extremely shady and honestly borderline illegal. What they actually did was lower the rates across all banners, and this happened 3 weeks after the initial release of the anniversary banners. So it wasn't as bad, but it was still extremely shady because as far as I know, they didn't announce anything. This is something the community figured out by themselves thanks to data miners. Still on the first year anniversary, I just want to take a moment to explain to you guys how ridiculously broken Super Gogeta was. Like when people say that Gogeta was probably a mistake, they're not kidding. This guy was an absolute monster, and it's not just because of his leader skill. Sure, he had the best leader skill in the game by far, but that wasn't all. He was the only unit in the game with an immense damage multiplier. He had like an insane link set for the time, being one of the very few units to have both prepared for battle and over in a flash, the two best key links at the time. He also was the TOR with the highest key multiplier in the game, and I could honestly still keep going, but I've already explained everything in another video, so if you're interested in really understanding how broken Strength Gogeta was on release, feel free to watch my history video on the subject. It should pop up on your screen or I'll link it in the description down below. Now moving on to the second year anniversary. Global held a legendary election during their second year anniversary, where people could vote for the next character they wanted to see as an LR. The winner was obviously LR Vegito Blue, but the interesting thing about that list is that most of those characters actually got their LR in the following years. At the time I'm recording this video, we're only missing LR Kid Buu and LR Master Roshi, Kid Goku and Krillin, so we could potentially see those two LRs this year. Now moving on to the 4th year anniversary. The Super Saiyan 4's card arts were leaked 2 weeks before the 4th year anniversary on Reddit, which is absolutely crazy. I remember seeing their card arts at the time and thinking, wow, those are some pretty well made card arts. But I just moved on with my life because like most people, I assumed they were fake. I was so surprised but also like disappointed when I realized that they weren't fake. I don't know, I felt like those card arts weren't really that great. Same with their super attacks, which were just like recycled versions of the Battlefield Goku and Vegeta super attacks. Well, actually, it was the other way around. If you didn't know, the LR Super Saiyan 4s were made almost a year in advance, which we now know thanks to Omatsu that it's like the standard. But the thing is, they were apparently way worse than what we eventually got. Originally, their passive was just the very first part. 80% attack for Goku and 80% defense for Vegeta. Their whole gimmick was that they would rely on the massive buffs they got from their super attacks. Thank God they changed them before release, because this would have easily been like the biggest fumble of all time. Another fun fact, the highest grossing banners in the history of the game are the 5th year anniversary banners, featuring Tech LR Vegito Blue and Strength Gogeta Blue, which I guess makes sense. If you were here at the time, this was probably the hypest anniversary of all time. Like, the hype was just insane beyond belief. Like, those units were just so hyped. But the crazy part is that, in my opinion, those were the weakest anniversary units we ever got. Like, they were flashy and everything, they definitely had like the best animations in the game at the time, but I could tell just from their kits that they weren't going to age well, and I was right. I don't even think they were the best units either. I personally think that LR Kel and Caulifla were a better unit at the time. But even then, I'm not gonna act like they didn't get me. This is the anniversary where I've spent the most amount of money in the game, like ever. I pretty much emptied the tickets in the shop. I'm not proud, but I almost Rainbow Tech Vegeta Blue, so I guess it was at least worth it. Okay, it wasn't worth it at all, that's just scope. I could have bought like 3 AAA games with that money, but look, at least I didn't get shafted. I was young and stupid, learn from my mistakes. Also, outside of the 1st year anniversary, the 3rd year anniversary was the driest anniversary ever. It only gave 235 stones in total and barely had any events. Like, bro, the celebration had probably the worst part 2 ever. Like, all we got was some rehash legendary sound banners, a free to play easy, and I guess 5 new free to play units. I think Toshi left the game shortly after, but I don't know if he got fired because of how whack that anniversary was, or the anniversary was whack because he was about to leave. I guess we'll never know. On the other hand, the 7th year anniversary was the anniversary that gave the most amount of stones, 1,424 stones. It was insane. Now, before I end this video, I just wanted to mention that every odd anniversary featured at least one fusion unit, and every even anniversary featured at least a Goku or a Vegeta. So knowing that, it's safe to assume that the 10th year anniversary will feature some sort of Goku or Vegeta. Anyways, this is it for today. I know the video is short, but like I said, I already have a whole video on Dokkan anniversaries. I just wanted to make like a little video covering the facts that were the most interesting to me, but as always, if you've got some interesting facts, feel free to leave them in the comments down below.